Ethereum as well as altcoins are getting a lot of green coming into the Sunday night pump before we start the week. But there are some warning signs that I want to give you and market prep for the week that I want to give you. We have some major catalysts that are going to affect the market as well as some roaring kitty tins. So watch until the end of the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn post notifications on. I'm going to try to keep this short, sweet, simple, to the point as best to my ability. Now I research, edit, upload, record, not in that order for you guys. So make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. That is all I ask. A couple things I want to note real quick before we begin the video. One, I dropped a Google Doc in Discord, kind of giving a little bit of market prep for the week. Nothing crazy, just a simple breakdown of my thoughts and some and some tickers to watch, which I'll talk about in a second, as well as my overall outlook. But I do want to state that YouTube has been unsubscribing, and I'm getting this from multiple users, and it's also following these subscribers. YouTube has been unsubscribing people even when they don't press it, so make sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel. Now, here's where we're at. We got a rate cut momentum last week. Powell's Jackson Hole speech strongly hinted at September cuts. Markets pricing in a 70 to 80% odd of at least a 0.25 BPS cut in September. However, these are going to affect the momentum positively or negatively, and we'll talk about that. Thursday, well, we originally had Powell's speech right here being in catalyst, and then August PCE Friday being the next catalyst. But we actually have a catalyst Thursday, and that is US Q2 GDP, which is going to show signs of slowdown or resilience and kind of give more leeway or more of a narrative as to what's coming in September. Now, Friday, we also have core PCE inflation, which is the Fed's #1 inflation gauge, the most important print of the week. So we have two of the most important catalysts at the end of the week, Thursday and Friday. Coming into these catalysts, I assume the markets will be slightly bullish, but a little bit choppy. That is the narrative we are in right now. Now, if PCE shows sticky inflation, that means cuts will be delayed and markets will sell off hard, and that will be the end of our bull rally. Again, if this is the case, if this happens to be the case, then we evaluate for a post-cut September for a positive move higher. But this will drastically shift my outlook into a bearish outlook if this happens. If PCE comes out bad, if GDP comes out a way we don't want it to. So Thursday, Friday, main catalyst, and Wednesday. So you have three catalysts all towards the second half of the week that are going to move the market, and that catalyst Wednesday is Nvidia earnings. Nvidia is the largest stock in the US stock market, and it will drastically affect how the S&P 500 performs and how the tech sector performs, which is arguably propping up the market. The Mag 7, but mainly tech stocks. The tech sector is reporting it's printing big. Crowd, Snow, MRVL, AFRM, Ulta, Dell. Not all of them same sector, but basically, basically the same sector. But we also have BABA reporting as well, one that we hold, the KSS. These are the other earnings for the week, in case you guys want to screenshot this. My current crypto outlook, and I wrote most of this yesterday. Bitcoin's heading to 131,000. Ethereum's heading to 5,800 to 7,000, but likely the lower end. And we have been calling for that. Solana and Link, very good large cap plays. My personal opinion, I don't give financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor, but those should have a 20 to 30% swing to the upside, maybe more alongside Ethereum. And then smaller altcoins and memes should rally for the most part with Ethereum and large cap cryptos until large caps die out. Then small caps will have that one last burst of energy to the upside. But this is right before 20 to 30% pullbacks in single days when we enter a bloody bear market. If you are playing small caps or meme coins, make sure that you are prepared for a possible rise and shine of being down 30% on all of your capital. Now, here's a short squeeze radar. You can screenshot this if you want. Open AMC, GameStop, OSRH, IXHL, GNS, MODV, TNFA, SBET, BMNR, OSCR, alts, so on and so on and so on and so on. A lot of these we talked about in the Discord, and we will continue to talk about. Now, Ethereum is getting a nice, beautiful candle, continuing to rise up 3.3%, getting a beautiful bounce off of 4,000, coming up to all-time highs, now breaking into a region Ethereum has never broken into before, and we are just days away, weeks away, right, from a possible cycle top that comes right here, right? Possible cycle top being exactly mid-September, September 15th, a Monday, 616 days into the cycle, a blue cycle top, which you go back in 616 days, marked the peak cycle top in the blue cycle. 616 days marked the peak cycle top in 2018. So all of the signs lead to mid-September being the end game. Now take a look at this. This is Ethereum's chart, and then GameStop's chart overlaid. We talked about the major correlation. Take a look at what recently has been going down. Right here, GameStop and Ethereum had this melt up through April and May, and then Ethereum fell from 1,260 all the way down to 900. That same period, GameStop front ran it and fell right before it, right? This peak when we ran to 38 all the way down to 22. Now Ethereum since then has been going vertical. GameStop has been sitting flat. This is so exciting because we have a huge spring built going forward. Now, speaking of GameStop, I do want to talk about the market and what's going to affect it. But speaking of GameStop, somebody has possibly came up with another idea of Roaring Kitty tin. And I actually went a little bit further and I kind of found what was likely the scenario. Now, I don't know if I told you guys this, but the beginning of this year, I blew up one of my accounts. I've done it before. It's not fun. And if you're learning how to trade, you'll probably do it as well. As soon as you don't follow your rules, that is what happens. I blew up maybe it was a small count, but beyond that, I don't want to say how much. You guys would probably feel a little bit sick, but I bet on a market downfall, and there was several reasons for that. And I was about 1 month at most early, and if I wasn't early and I bought further expiration, again, a couple of mistakes, it would have been a massive payout. And there were signs. You're going to see signs. But anyway, alongside that, this is what the post that Roaring Kitty posted was from. Here comes another bubble, V1.1, the Richter scales 17 years ago, and you actually get taken right here to the article. December 7th, 2007. This is exactly what it's from. And on the picture, it says it's a monster rally all around the valley. And during this time frame, what's so interesting, this is when this article came out. And following that, the markets began to sell off that entire year into 08, having a 56% decline. Originally about a 20% decline into a 56% decline. Now, Roaring Kitty posted this on December 5th, 2024, and we see the S&P 500 right here, December 5th, 2024. He posted that right at this top, and then we decided to climb for a little longer before selling off about 22%, and now we obviously have been in a rally. Now, what's so interesting about that is on January 22nd, it was the dog waiting, right? But in the beginning of the video, January 2nd, 2000, during this period was very interesting because it actually showed that the markets had a sell-off twice, actually. Had a massive sell-off twice, about 15% at most, and decided that from January, decided that the markets were going to get propped up all the way to the week ending August, well, actually the week beginning August 28th. And as soon as September hit, markets began to sell off from that high and continue to sell off. First down 30% by March of the year after, and then a total of 38%. Let me get the auto off of here. And then a total of 38% within a year, and then shortly after continued to fall all the way down 50%. Now, what's interesting about this is we are actually in a bubble right now, a very, very overvalued market. And I know there will always be noise and people saying that the market is going to come down, which is very, very true. But we are in a scenario where it's very, very important to it's not really about just being cautious anymore. It's about really, guys, if you're not used to it, really learning how to make money on downside. Because this, if you learn that, and if you're in the Discord server with the best community and best vibes, best family, this stuff right here, this is fun. Okay. If we're expecting it, if we're front running it, if we learn how to play the downside, this is fun, but it's very, very scary for other investors. So overall, we're in a very, very interesting, fun scenario. I didn't really take a look at Bitcoin's chart, but I don't want this video to go on too long. But overall, that is what I got for you guys for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed watching more fun value added video, and hopefully that prepped you for the market this week. Let me know Nvidia earnings up or down, and then as well as if you're commenting, I spend about half hour sometimes removing bots, reporting them, blocking words on the channel, and they keep coming back. Again, it's insane how such a high value company can just allow bots to flow in day by day. But that is it, guys. I love you all. God bless. Lottery Stocks out.